What is up, bros and brettes? I'm Inkslasher, and today I just wanted to make a quick video showing you guys that paint jobs are finally in Call of Duty World War II. As you guys know, back in Black Ops 3, paint jobs and emblems were a very big part of this channel. I took various creators' emblems and paint jobs and featured them on the channel, and we once again are going to be doing that with paint jobs. So if you created any paint jobs that you would like to submit to the top 5 paint jobs of the week, the way to do so is by sending them to my Twitter. My Twitter link is down in the description, or you can send them to me at Inkslasher. I'm not exactly sure when the first video will be. It'll either be later this week or early next week, sometime around then. But like I said, if you'd like to submit your paint jobs, Twitter is the place to do so. Just make sure it's a high resolution screenshot. Now, let's talk about the paint shop, whether or not it's good or bad, how it works, and all of that kind of stuff. So first of all, how does it work? Well, if you go to this area of the headquarters here, you can go to the gunsmith. As you can see right now, it is quite busy. Now, if you go up to the gunsmith and click on it, you can see 4 options. Prestige weapons was the only one that was available before, but now we have view paint jobs, craft paint jobs, and finally upload paint jobs. Let's start by crafting a paint job. So if we go in here, we can see that we have 30 total save slots where we can save various paint jobs. Now, if we go to create one, we can choose a weapon. So let's say we pick the Volkssturmgewehr, for example. So you have a couple options here. You can pick a regular Volkssturmgewehr, or you can choose a variant of it. Unfortunately, I don't have any unlocked, but I could choose any of these and integrate a paint job into any of the variants, which is, I think, a very good thing. And this is something that actually wasn't in Black Ops 3, as there was no weapon variant. So when we pick the Volkssturmgewehr, we have 3 options. We can work on the left side of the weapon, the right side of the weapon, or the top of the weapon. Now, I'm not actually going to create a paint job here, but what I'm going to do is just show you the area on the weapon that you can work on. So for this, if I just take a circle and make it as large as possible, this is the entire left side of the weapon I can work on. If we go over to the right side of the weapon, do the exact same thing. Once again, you can see the exact same area. Now, the Volkssturmgewehr is actually a pretty good weapon to create a paint job on, as a lot of the weapon actually gets covered. I know it seems like not all of it is covered right now, but really when you look at it, pretty much the entire front of the weapon is covered. Now, I'm not going to save this one, as I've already made one of these, but if we go back and look at the weapons I've already created, starting off with the combat shotgun here, you can see it's a very small area that you can put a paint job on. So I don't imagine a lot of people are going to be creating paint jobs for the combat shotguns. Similar, the MG42 once again has a pretty small area. On top of that, there's a big streak going down the side of it, so it's going to be difficult to make a very interesting one for that. However, a PPSH, you can cover a very large area of the weapon. The bar, once again, a very small area, and then we already saw the Volkssturmgewehr. The next thing I'm going to show you is just how you can incorporate a variant. So right here we got the Red Baron variant for the STG-44, and if you put a paint job on it, this is the area that the paint job covers. This kind of gets me into my next point, and this is the one thing I think the paint jobs do very poorly in Call of Duty World War II, and that is viewing them. It's not actually creating them, it's actually viewing them. Now, if we look at the STG-44 here, we can see that it barely fits on the screen. In fact, the tip of the weapon's being covered by the paint jobs that I've already created, and the butt of the gun is off the right side of the map. And God forbid I want to look at the right side of the weapon. Now half the weapon is completely off the screen, and if I actually click on this and try to view it, it just brings me into actually creating it. So there's no way of really centering it on the screen and really taking a good look at it. So I think there should be a better viewing area, and you would think that if you go into view paint jobs, this would be the area to do that, but in fact it's much worse. So this is, you can view the top 20 paint jobs that are currently in the community, and let's say, for example, I want to look at the #1 one. Look how much of it is covered by the other stuff on the screen. You can barely see the paint job because it's covered by other things on the screen. And if I click on it, it doesn't zoom in and make me actually look at it. It simply likes it. There's no way to actually view the paint job alone on screen. So I think they really need to improve the viewing of it. However, I do think the actual creation of it is pretty good. As you can see, you can work on all 3 sides of the weapon with 64 layers per side, which is really good if you ask me. And yes, it's very similar to Black Ops 3. Now, the final screen we got here is the upload paint jobs. This one's pretty self-explanatory. You can see a list of your paint jobs. By the way, this is pretty much the best way to look at your own paint jobs, as the least amount of the screen is covered by other stuff, but it's still not perfect. Now, once again, if I click X on this, it uploads the paint job, and then it just goes to my published paint jobs, and then I can then go here and remove them. So there's just this uploads them so that people can view them, your friends, people on that you're playing with, that kind of thing. So that's kind of paint jobs in a nutshell. Like I said, I'm not going to go in depth on actually creating one and showing you my horrible, horrible artistic abilities, but that is the gunsmith, that is the paint jobs, and I think they did a pretty decent job. Like I said, the only really bad part as of right now is viewing them. I hope they fix that a little bit, but otherwise, the actual paint jobs themselves, very similar to Black Ops 3, and I think some creators are going to be able to make some really amazing things. And if you're one of them and you want to submit them to the top 5 paint jobs of the week, the way to do so, like I mentioned, down in the description is a link to my Twitter. You can just tweet a high-resolution picture at me, and you may get yourself featured on the channel. But guys, if you enjoyed the video, it would be awesome if you could hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I got many more great Call of Duty videos coming for you guys, but I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard, and I want